It's another raw food video for your dog's diet. Last time we did chicken leg quarter with the bone in frozen. Today we're gonna try something a little different, show you how you can mix it up. All right, today we're gonna use kidney, we're gonna use chicken feet, and oh, you know what? It might not be the kidney, that might be the beef. Yeah. This is to show you how easy you can do this without spending a lot of money. This was like 20 chicken feet, $2.30 at the butcher. Okay, so we'll grab a handful of these. Oh. These are great. Chicken feet are great for glucosamine and all sorts of other joint health, seeing as how they're literally full of joints. Really, really good stuff. Chicken feet, great thing. I mean, I don't advocate for using treats, but if you actually are going to use treats, frozen chicken foot, or even unfrozen, they're a lot chewier unfrozen, which is nice. A chicken foot or maybe frozen liver treats, those are really good too. The chicken feet are really good for cleaning the teeth as well. They're great for dental. So like maybe you were a greenies type person in the past, but you don't want to spend $60 on treats. Get some chicken feet, they're super cheap. The other thing we're gonna do is use some beef. This is just like stew meat beef cubes we had that we didn't end up using this week for our regular cooking. So we're gonna use them for the dog. They're fine, they're not bad. They're a little past what I would use, but they're perfectly fine for the dog. As with anything else that's gonna need that doesn't have any bone in it, the beef is gonna need calcium. That's the whole trick. Nothing, it's not rocket science. It needs to have calcium on it so that we don't fuck up the dog's phosphorus levels. Calcium phosphorus levels are really important when it comes to your dog's health, especially if you're doing raw food. You wanna make sure you keep those nice and balanced so that your dog isn't leaching calcium from other parts of its body in order to have enough calcium. We use calcium citrate, pure calcium citrate with no D3. You can buy calcium from your local pharmacy if you can find it without D3. I find it's much more cost effective to just buy it off of Amazon. As much as I'm not a huge supporter of Amazon. But yeah, I mean, I get this for like, I think $19.99. It's massive, okay? This will last me super long. I haven't even gone through a whole one of these this year yet, and we're 6 months in. So it's pretty simple. I think this is an 800 milligram scooper, so we might do a little extra today for the beef, but you'll see right now. We're adding the calcium to the meat that doesn't have bone. This shouldn't be rocket science, people. I'll say it again. We're adding the calcium to the beef because there is no bone in the beef. So we're adding calcium, which bones provide calcium. Calcium supports strong bones. Goes hand in hand. So we got the chicken feet, which again are bone in. There's tons of bones and joints and ligaments for them to rip up. But we have to make sure we add calcium to any meat that doesn't have bone in, okay? So boom, right there, we're adding calcium. We're adding calcium without D3. I don't know how many other ways I can say it. Within reason, it's also okay for the most part, within reason, to kind of overload it with calcium. It's better than not giving your dog enough. Your dog will get the shits, okay? It'll get diarrhea if you don't put calcium. So if you're doing raw feeding, right? You found this video because you've been doing raw feeding and your dog has got the shits, it's your fault. It's not your dog's fault. Don't reprimand your dog. Focus on getting your dog out of the house so that it doesn't feel like going to the bathroom is a bad thing. Teach your dog a potty command and add calcium to your raw food. It's not rocket science. You need calcium. That's all. Otherwise, your dog is not going to have solid shit. So basically, that's all we're doing today. We're adding some calcium, right? A little more than we normally would because we have the beef that we're using. Other than calcium, people who have been on this channel before and have seen me do raw food, we're also going to add some fish oil tablets. That's just human grade fish oil. And even though I'm adding the calcium so that he doesn't get the runs or anything, I'm still gonna add, just for consistency, a little pinch of oats. Literally a pinch. A pinch. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, okay? Stay there. Scissors. There we go. And then we're just cutting open these capsules and squeezing out the fish oil. This is all very simple. You can find all of this at your local drugstore. It's not, like I said before, man, raw food is not rocket science. It's better for your dog. It's much cheaper. There are companies out there that will prey on your desire to give your dog a proper meal. Even in the raw food, kind of like more people are doing raw food or looking into it. Chicken feet, leg in, chicken leg quarters with the bone in, okay? Calcium without T3. Chicken feet, which I mentioned. You can get organ meat like beef heart, beef liver, beef kidneys, all really good. All this you can get at a local butcher shop. It's not expensive. You can get a tub of liver fresh from your butcher for like $2, okay? You give bone-in chicken the majority of the week, maybe 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week. You add in, or you supplement with some kind of organ meat and calcium. But ultimately, you don't need to be buying expensive raw food. And let me just say, if you go to the pet store and you buy a thing that looks like it's ground beef and it's extremely expensive, it's like $20 for a pound of ground beef and it's raw diet, fuck that stuff. They cut that stuff with corn and with other fillers. You don't need fillers. That's the point of raw diet. I feed my wolf dog once a day. He gets a nice big meal. He goes to the bathroom once a day and then pees a few times. It works out perfect. Dog, dusted up and ready to rock. He should be out on his mark. We put him in sit. He probably will be in sit or down. Again, as long as he's on his mark, there's no problem here. Look at this good boy. Who's a good boy? Dog, sit. Good boy, sit, okay? You see that? That's called respecting the food right there. He knows. He knows he can't go for it or he'll lose it. And when I train my dogs to do this, I'll put the bowl just like this. If they go for it or look down at it or try to get to it, the bowl goes up where they can't reach it, but they can see it. And then we'll wait 3 to 5 minutes until they understand. Sit. Go eat. Yeah, big boy getting the... It's nice to mix it up for the dog too. He wants to change up what he eats sometimes, though he does like the chicken. There you go, bub. Enjoy, okay? I always say it, I'll always handle the dog while he's eating from a puppy phase all the way up until, you know, whenever. It's always good to pet the dog, especially when they're eating. It just creates a kind of understanding that like I am present, and if I want to take the food, I can.